We just hit 100 subscribers on Stellar Reads. Thank you so much for sticking around. I appreciate each and every one of you. Another thing I'd like to announce is that I just received a silver honorable mention from the Writers of the Future contest, and that also blew my mind. It's been a really cool week. So I want to talk a little bit about why I haven't published just yet. I've got a few completed novels, short stories, and novellas, but I haven't published anything. Now, there are two main paths for publishing: traditional publishing and self-publishing. With traditional publishing, you cannot approach a publisher directly. You have to go through a literary agent. And in order to secure a literary agent, you have to spend months, if not years, drafting the perfect query letter that sells your book in like 500 words in this very condensed form. The main issue that I have with that is the comparison titles, having to compare your book to something that has recently, like within the last 2 years, been successful. And the thing is, I like to write stuff that's very different. I like to write stuff that is unique. And a lot of my influences, if you may have noticed, are from decades ago. I legitimately cannot find stories to compare my work to. So traditional publishing is kind of not an option for me. So with self-publishing, you don't have that filtering mechanism. And because you don't have that filtering mechanism, literally anyone can self-publish. A huge majority of that work is pretty bad. You could literally bang your head on a keyboard for 6 hours and then get that baby up on Amazon in no time. This is difficult for people who are putting in like high effort work, someone who spends years on a novel and they just put it out and it's just crickets. If you want anyone besides friends and family to read your work, you're going to have to invest a lot of money. If you want some really high-grade artwork, expect to spend a pretty penny, and be very weary on Fiverr, because a lot of artists there will use AI. They won't be very straightforward about that. So if you're trying to avoid the use of AI, like I am, that can be tricky. You also need to pay for things like advanced reader copies so you can get some reviews in before you do your actual release. That's a huge deal. Not to mention promotion. Promotion is huge. Which, by the way, traditional publishing doesn't pay a penny on promotion. So, I mean, self-publishing, you're kind of in the same boat anyway, so it doesn't matter. That's why I haven't published, is because I really believe in my work and I want to do them justice, you know? If I were to just release it with low effort, it would just seem wrong. So I've taken an indirect approach. I've decided to start submitting short stories, which is how I got that honorable mention and silver honorable mention. It's so cool to know that I've actually been getting somewhere with that, and I would recommend any other authors to do the same. If you're feeling kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place with the publishing industries, I would definitely recommend jump into short stories. They're also an incredible practice. Think about it. If you work on a 100,000 word novel and you spend a year on that novel just getting it perfect, you've only gone through an ending of a story one time in a year. With a short story, you can get that entire process done in a month. So it's a great way of practicing the full extent of storytelling. You're able to learn how to resolve a story. So the other thing that I've done as an indirect approach is, oh my God, sea otters. Sea otter is munching some clams. He's slamming them on his belly. It's beautiful. The other thing I've done is I've started a YouTube channel. It's super fun. I'm able to look back on books that I just read and develop like a deeper understanding and appreciation of them as I'm like going back over them and kind of researching them after already enjoying the story as just a book. And that has directly influenced the way that I write. Things like Neuromancer have deeply, deeply affected my prose. The other thing is that if you have subscribed to this channel, that means that you like the books that I like. And I write based on what I like. So as I get a higher subscriber count here, I'll put a story out and you'll be the first to be able to see it. The next review I have coming out is Christopher Priest's Inverted World, and that book was mind-bending. He's the guy who wrote The Prestige, which ended up becoming a Christopher Nolan film, a really good one too. Anyway, for more on my journey as an author and for book reviews and whatever the heck else I decided to post on this channel, subscribe, hit like, all that stuff helps. Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around.